Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Mariana with Colibri Floral Designs, again here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is video 1 that will go in the wedding playlist. As you can tell, we're a little fancier today to really get into the spirit of what it's like to hire a floral designer for your wedding and what you should know and be ready to share as well as bring to your first client meeting. And if you are the client, what to expect from that meeting with your floral designer. So I'll leave our friends up here that we had yesterday. And again, I just want to get into this. I apologize for sitting again. I told you I wouldn't, but I am for this because I'm going to talk more today. When I do DIYs, which will probably be next week, we'll switch it up. We'll do something more interactive. I will be standing so you can really see what I'm doing. I'm also going to have a little movie magic come in here, so everything I'm saying is going to be in text as well. You'll see that shortly popping up for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, send me a message. Happy to help, happy to answer questions, as well as make videos that are something that you specifically want to see. So to start off, if you're getting married, congratulations, my best wishes. I'm so excited for you. This is, of course, one of the biggest steps of your life, and I hope you really, really enjoy it. So for me, to enjoy big moments such as that, I like to be prepared. I like to plan. I like to have a game plan and even have a few backup plans just in case those don't go the way I want them to. So looking online, just to give you all a general idea, The Knot, which is of course a magazine as well as a website for all of your wedding needs, inspiration, as well as great articles from those in the industry, as well as those who have gotten married and are sharing their biggest day with with everyone, so to speak. So the Knot says that you should budget about 8% of your wedding budget for floral. I know that sounds high, and I know that can be a lot depending on what your budget is. I actually drew up a little table that will pop up on either side shortly for you to kind of see what that means for what your budget might be. I would just say if you use it, I would use it. I'm gonna say use it. Go ahead and use it as kind of a baseline for how much you want to allocate to floral, because if it's higher, like the 8%, you can always start paring that down to really get you to a comfortable place in your budget. So I would say go for the 8%, see what that looks like. Again, if it is high, you may want to bring it down a few percentages, and that's okay. So budget, most important, and we'll get into why going down here shortly. So let's get into this. How to plan your wedding, what to expect with a floral designer, video 1. Okay, so first things first, how do you pick a floral designer? The internet is such a great tool. You can really just type in floral designer in my area and you're gonna find someone. I would suggest doing that for sure. Looking on Google, looking on The Knot, Wedding Wire. I think there is a new one. It used to be wedding.com. It is now wedding. I'll have to look it up for you guys if you're interested. There's all kinds of wedding sites, as you probably are aware. Go ahead and search. Do a broad search. If you are starting your floral design search, looking to see who's out there, go broad, get a great idea of who's out there and who's either closest to you or is getting great reviews. Great reviews would be thing number 2. So number 1, do a broad search, see who's out there. Number 2, see who has the best reviews. And I mean, if you really have the time, which I really think you should take the time if you're going to invest 8% of a wedding budget, see what the reviews say. As I always say with any reviews, it can be a little bit of grain of salt here and there. So you can also weigh pros and cons. I believe you can actually find some great reviews on Yelp as well. Better Business Bureau is a great place to look as well. Make sure that you have a good idea of who the designer is, who the company is, and again, how much is on their website. I am all for full transparency. I know that can be difficult when it comes to making a full invoice for clients, but for my website, true, there isn't a lot on there quite yet, but I am working on it daily to really give everyone who's in the area looking for a floral designer all the information they need to see if we'd be a good match to even just have that first meeting. So do your research, find as many designers in your area as you can, and my advice to you would be pare that down to 3 designers or 3 design companies. You want to have, I would say, one that's really piquing your interest, whether they've got great photos, portfolio on their website, whether they are in a vein that's really important to you, such as being environmentally conscious, using local farms, sources for their florals and plants, as well as maybe just a smaller company, maybe not a huge design marketing firm that would actually be able to handle your full wedding and floral just be part of it, maybe something much smaller. A lot of us designers, such as myself, I'm currently looking for the right studio to really put roots down, so I work from home, and I think that's a great option. And for you as a client, it's going to save you a lot of money because you're not paying for overhead for my electricity, my internet, my studio space, just all of those big overhead costs. There are, of course, design costs as well as packaging, transportation, all of those things, which we will also get into in a separate video. But for the big ticket items, such as, like I said, electricity, you're not footing the bill for that. So don't look down on the smaller designers. They actually could save you a lot of money. So again, do your research, look at the reviews, pick your 3 designers that you would seriously be interested in meeting, and go ahead and send that inquiry to set up a time to meet. You sent out your inquiries and you've gotten great responses from them, and it's time to actually meet these people. I always suggest making sure that your inquiry, your first sit-down meeting, is used to the max. I always offer 30 to 60 minute consultation free of charge for my clients, or potential clients in this case, so that I can really get a read on these people. How are they as a couple? What is the vision? Is it something that I can get behind? Are we on the same page? Or are they looking for something that I just really don't offer, or we're just not a good fit? Either way, that's okay. That's what these client meetings are for. It really gives both of you a chance to see if this is going to be a great partnership. Because for many of you who are starting your planning about a year or so out from the actual date of the wedding, this person is going to be part of your life for a good chunk of that time, and you want to be in a great place with them. You want to have that good rapport, because anything can happen, and you want to make sure that you can communicate quickly and easily and know that they've got your back for your floral needs. So this first client meeting is super important. So I want you to be prepared just as much as a designer is going to be prepared as well. So number 1, as I had said, when you're casting that net large and long and deep to look for your designers and then hone it down to those 3. Once you've got the 3, your next step as a client, I always say, get into the Pinterest account, make a separate one for your floral ideas, and go wild. That's right, go Pinterest, go into that search box and just start typing anything that you are interested for your wedding. Themes, colors, specific flowers, arrangements, anything floral related, go wild. This is your chance. Go wild, go crazy, make that separate Pinterest board and fill it up. Again, once you have narrowed down your designers, it's time to also narrow down the Pinterest account. Again, just the floral one. Again, I would highly recommend that it be separate because you're gonna want to just be working with the flowers. I'll get into that shortly. Once you've really got 3 designers, maybe you've already scheduled those meetings with them, you want to be able to show a really cohesive board to them. Most designers are super familiar with Pinterest, and they actually encourage potential clients to have one for floral as well as for their wedding in general. It's really helpful because you can make Pinterest boards shareable. So that means I can see it, my client can see it. We can even start making any kind of changes that both of us see, and we're on the same wavelength instead of constantly emailing one another back and forth. Great tool. I love Pinterest. So I'm going to have a separate video, as I've noted before, for Pinterest, how to use it, how to do exactly what I'm saying. It's really important and it's a lot of fun. So I want people to use Pinterest in a great and also focused way. So go into Pinterest, make your board, go crazy, rein it in, really figure out what it is that you want for the wedding. It's a great way to also help you figure out your color scheme. You may have thought red was a great color to go with, and you're seeing on Pinterest actually shades of peach actually work a lot better with the season, the dresses you're picking for the bridesmaids, as well as the venue. So it actually will help you probably figure out the other tiny details as well. So go through the Pinterest, make it large, tone it down, really hone in on what is your color palette. That's huge. I'm going to make a separate video. Now I keep saying that, but there's going to be a bunch in this playlist, and one of them is absolutely going to be on color. Color is so crucial. Color happens to be one of my most favorite things, and I want you to understand how to use a color wheel in a way that can help you in planning a huge event like a wedding, holiday designs, even just for fun for your home. Using color, understanding color is so much fun, and it's so critical to having beautiful designs or having really bright, screaming designs that don't match with the decor, the events, or even just the tone of the room. So stay tuned for that. We'll get into that. You as a client, though, pick the colors that you're looking for your event, in this case for the wedding, and again, make sure it's on the board. Everything should be on the board. Flowers, colors, even style. If you have a specific style that you're into, please put that in there as well. This is all just really helpful for the floral designer. Okay, so you're meeting the floral designer. We'll say this is your first meeting with one. You want to make sure that all parties who are deeply invested are there. So if it's a wedding, I highly recommend both partners are there. It's really important. I know some may be saying, I don't care about flowers or whatever, pick what you want. Again, I think both parties should be involved. It's your wedding. It's the biggest day of your life. Be there. That's my suggestion. If it doesn't work, I have clients that are unable to have their partner at those first client meetings. No big deal. No big deal. I just want to make sure the vision is a unified vision. So bring your partner. It's going to be fun. I know there's no cake, but it's going to be fun. So just bring everyone you can. In terms of your partners, I mean, don't bring everyone. The other person that should be present at the meeting is the person that's paying. If that's you and your partner, perfect. 2 of you is all that we need. And again, it's greatly appreciated when you do both come as a couple. So thank you for those that do. For those that can't, no worries, not a big deal. If there is a third party, such as a parent, guardian, friend, just someone who's footing the bill, to be very blunt, they should be included in this. I like to kind of meet who that person is. They're going to be important to negotiate some of the little details I find. Usually if they're paying, I'm going to deal with them for getting that payment separate from the pair that's getting married. So I like to bring everyone together with this. Again, get everyone on the same page and get everyone kind of comfortable with one another. So highly recommend that. And again, no pressure. If all parties can't be there for the first meeting, it is kind of a meet and greet to get an idea who you are and if you're going to mesh well. So that's what I would say for kind of piece number 1. Bring the people that are important, not only the 2 that are getting married, but the person that's paying. Very important. this is an opportunity for you to feel out the floral designer as much as it is a time for me, the designer, to feel out potential clients. I always say it's important to bring a notebook. If you have not only the Pinterest board on like an iPad or a phone, also bring color chips. If you go to, like Lowe's or Home Depot and you're just kind of struggling with color, go to the paint section, pull some of those paint strips. Sometimes they're chips, sometimes they're strips. Pull those and bring them home and see if something really kind of clicks for you color-wise, and bring those. My favorite is if you are far enough along in your wedding planning and you know what your bridal party is going to wear specifically, and you have color swatches, those make things really, really easy. As well as if you use David's Bridal, for example, I myself can go order the color swatches, so I have them for my own reference. It's a great tool. Again, not pushing anyone to use David's Bridal. I would imagine any major bridal retailing company, you should be able to get color swatches ahead of time. People understand you're trying to match colors. So if you don't, say, have them on hand, let me know the company. I can always do a little research myself, see if I can obtain them. And again, have a great, in my hand, so to speak, exact color match. This is great when you have those difficult colors that aren't straight red or pink. If we're looking at, say, like a dusty pink that's got more of a mauve in it, so to speak, that may be hard to find in, say, a flower. There are roses that are those colors, for example. But again, sometimes that means we're paying a lot more to match a color, whereas I can find complementary colors to really help bring your dresses to life, as well as potentially pop with the floral designs. So again, I'll save my spiel on color for another video, but again, bring those things with you. If you have a list of flowers that you love and just have to have, bring them. If you don't know much about flowers, aren't really that interested in, say, roses versus hydrangeas, not a big deal. But if you know what you like, let me know. Let me know, write it down, bring it with you. Those things are the most important. Let me see if there's anything else. I would say put everything in a folder. I actually provide my clients folders because, again, I like to be organized. I have multiple clients, so I want to make sure they all have their own folder and everything's labeled and where I can find it easily. So if your designer, potential designer, doesn't have folders for you, I would just say put one together for yourself. Keep all your notes for that floral meeting in one folder. These are my tips, again, for meeting the floral designer. One meeting, as I just noted, that you have. I'm going to pull this stuff up for you and list it on the side. When you're actually in the midst and depths of the meeting with your floral designer, again, I put a time limit on 30 to 60 minutes. I would suggest you do that too as a potential client. We don't need to talk about these things for hours and hours on end. We just want to really feel one another out. So I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of keep it at that 30 to 60 minute length so that you know what you're going to expect, so to speak.